dropping a top on the Ultra Michelob Non-Chilada.
Regular.
Regular. Yeah. That's what regular is, man. You didn't know what regular is?
Oh.
They didn't have all that pineapple, chilada. That's how they make everything.
I want an Ultra Michelob regular. I'm like, what the hell is a regular?
Be glad that I'm drinking with you guys today, man.
We got cheers to that. We got cheers to that. We got cheers to that.
This is our first beer ever together in a long time.
In a long time. They probably ate grasshoppers.
Probably.
Was it your birthday?
The birthday, yeah.
That's right.
That's probably the last time we were drinking together.
The infamous shooting.
Yeah, I'm lucky I left when I did, because I would have been caught in the crossfire.
That was last
Local
year.
podcaster.
2 years ago.
It wasn't this past year. I think it was the year before. Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah, a year and a half, man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome back to Uncanceled Culture. I'm Porky.
D. Louie.
The crank.
It's the crank.
The crank.
Yeah. And fuck Roger. Hey, I'm just riding.
The clock is right. Broken clock is right.
I'm riding the coattails, man.
He's talking about Showtime, the series on Max.
Oh yeah,
we already saw that.
That was
yes.
That thing's been canceled already for a year. God.
Y'all see Showtime?
The only reason I saw it because I know there's gonna be boobs and shit. That's the only reason I saw it. I was like, I gotta watch it.
John C. Reilly plays Dr. Buzz good.
Yeah, Dr. Buzz. Yeah, he does
real
sound
good, man.
Yeah. You know the what's his name plays Jerry West pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he plays him pretty good too.
I haven't seen this new one, the clip though.
The clip
with Al Bundy.
Oh yeah. No, how many parts is that? That one? It's just one.
It's a series too.
It's a series.
It's a series.
On what? On Max?
On Hulu.
No, it's on. Because it's on FX, right?
It's on. Is it on FX?
Well, it's on Hulu, but FX.
FX.
Yeah.
So it comes on FX first, and then
and then it'll be
goes to Hulu. Yeah.
Well, I guess I won't be watching that.
Well, it's like the OJ thing.
No, I know, but I don't have Hulu.
Oh, well, but just
so hold on. So here's the thing. Hey, you know what? Let's start off with a quick shot. So
yeah,
I freaking paid for the damn Disney Plus bundle that was Disney Plus, ESPN,
right,
Plus, and Hulu.
I got that. Yeah,
I can still sign into ESPN Plus. I can still sign into freaking Disney Plus, and I can't sign into Hulu. It just like took that away.
Why?
I don't know, and I'm still paying for it, and we've already called them, and we got to do this and that. I can't watch any episodes, anything on fucking Hulu, dude. So
that Disney Plus package got expensive too,
it did get
man.
expensive.
Well, even with that one, but what sucks is that you get commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get commercials on ESPN obviously because you're watching the game, and commercial is a commercial, but if you're watching a movie on Hulu or even if you're watching Disney and you're like watching something, you're like, fucking commercial.
Speaking of commercials, so it's funny. They're not called commercials. They're called ads.
Yeah, called.
No. Let me tell you.
Why?
One of the kids, when they were sitting there and I'm watching a movie on TV.
Did they get their feelings hurt?
No, we're watching a commercial on TV, and he's like, "Why don't you just skip through the ad?" What? I'm like, "We're watching TV." Yeah, but I've seen this ad, and I'm like, "No, it's a commercial. It's an ad. You can't skip through the ad." I'm like, "You do not know how TV works." These kids that have been brought up in this, demand now, right?
Yeah.
So you just go to whatever show you want to watch, and then you can skip through an ad. I said, "No, son. Let me learn you something." I said, "This is a commercial. This is how they make their money. The networks make their money." And he's just looking at me like, I'm like, all right, never mind.
Do they not
we'll
listen
talk
to
about
radio?
it in 3 years.
Do they not listen to radio? I mean, they have commercials on radio.
No, they don't listen to radio. You know what they listen to? Spotify, Apple Music, all that.
Well, why aren't they listening to us then?
Well, the older ones are.
But that's a good point because you can't click on anything without an ad popping up first.
Even if you play a game on the fucking phone.
Yes.
On the best phone in the world, Android.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
But yeah, you're right.
But with anything, like if you go on YouTube, like when you click on a video, an ad comes out first before. I'm like, dude, why?
Well, that's what I hate about ESPN because we all have the app, right? And then something pops up and it's like, oh, something happened in the game. Oh, let me go check out the highlight, and it fucking
starts with an ad.
20-second
ad. The ad is longer than the highlight, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, God.
It doesn't matter if it's ESPN or Bleacher Report. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It starts off with an ad, and then you get your highlight.
And then you get your highlight.
So if I'm that pissed off, I'll be like, you know what? Fuck that. I don't need to see. I'll look it up somewhere else.
I'll wait for ESPN.
I'll look it up somewhere else. You know what, dude? Honestly, man, I don't know if it's take my man card away, but I don't even watch ESPN anymore.
I don't either.
For Sports Center.
Okay.
Sports Center is what I mean.
The only time
I don't even watch it.
So here's the thing. I'll watch Sports Center every once in a while when there's really nothing else on. And if it's just if I want to see a highlight that I didn't want to go through an ad for, right? I'll wait and I'll see it and then I'll change it. But that's really it, man. ESPN really it's either a game or the talk shows.
Yeah.
Like that's really it.
Yeah.
It's like ESPN is not sports news no more. It's nothing but talk shows.
So
it's kind of like
it's a new MTV.
Yeah. It's like MTV.
Right.
It's not. I don't even know why it's called MTV anymore.
Well, because in the morning that's all you see.
On Saturdays they do have music videos. I think it's like at 10 or 11.
For like an hour or
an hour block of videos.
And then that's it. After that it's ridiculous for the next
all
3,
the
4
videos
hours.
they used to play in the 80s. They show them again. Like 80s block of
like when I was skip school back in the day.
You used to skip school.
No wonder you were a bad influence.
And I would put on MTV and it was music all day.
Yeah.
All day,
it
dude.
was.
You know?
Or you put it on that channel where you could call in and request a video. You could call in and request for a music video to come out. But every fucking video was me so horny. Or Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah.
Those are the only see, you guys are too young to remember that shit, man. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people out there. Like, they have no idea what
Park. Everybody had videos, man, and now BET is nothing but movies.
That too. VH1,
nothing
same
but
thing.
nothing but old reruns.
Yes.
they show like
Martin and Fresh Prince and yeah, dude.
So all these music video channels are not music videos.
Yeah.
No.
So just like now ESPN is not sports news.
Yeah. MTV is nothing but fucking
horny
young dudes and chicks, fucking on an island.
It's like that song. Video killed the radio star.
Yeah, that was the first song,
right? And then now, what killed the video star?
Well, that's why they created the channel ESPN News.
So you just
because now they have like different.
Oh, so they can show all that.
Yeah, they'll show
the 30 for 30s.
Well, or they'll show like it'll be MLB or NFL or NBA, and so you get your highlights there,
right?
And you get your news there, but you don't have SportsCenter running the way it used to run before back to back. Now it does at night every once in a while. I think like at 10, 11, and 12. I think they have ESPN, and then after that it's like SportsCenter, and after that it goes away.
That's how much I used to watch SportsCenter. Is that I could sit, it would be on in the background, right? Yeah. And then you would be listening to it, so it'd be like a whole hour, and then it started. It was just basically the same highlights over again. And what would you do? Just sit there and watch them.
But is it because Disney bought over all these channels?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because Disney bought ESPN, Disney owns ABC. What else?
Well, it's like you said, like Whataburger got taken over, and now like you're seeing all these weird foods and weird commercials coming out. Ugh.
Iced coffee,
hotter iced,
yeah,
hotter iced coffee. Like like all this, even the little bites, like all that shit they never had before. It was just like burgers, and now you have like all this weird shit.
Everybody has wings now, though. Everybody, even Jack in the Box,
Taco Bell. When they had them for a while, Taco Bell,
and their pizzas.
But it's a corporation does so good, and then they sell out, and then they ruin it.
Yeah.
Christmas Drids.
Well, I don't know if
Christmas Drids got ruined, man.
I don't know if it's selling out. Here's the thing. I think people overthink stuff, and so what they try to do is they try to stay relevant. So they want to be relevant with everybody else, with everything else. So they're like, hey, well, if you're gonna go over there for that, then come over here for that too.
Yeah.
But yet we still have our signature stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so they're just trying to get people in, which I get it. But you know what? It honestly just ruined. Because you go over there and then you're disappointed for the wings or for what they're not known for. You're disappointed. And then that's where you get your bad reviews. That's where you get your, I don't want to come here again. I'm going to go now over there. If I can go to Chris Madrid's And you have wings too? Okay, let me go over there. I didn't like it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go to a wing place and I'll just get a burger there because they're just as good. So, you're shooting yourself in the foot, guys.
It's like let's talk business, right? Like you said, they got to stay relevant, right? Because you have people who've been going there for years and years and years, and you show up, and it's like, I remember when I went to Chris Madred's, expecting for the fucking cheese to be flowing out on the side. I would literally get a knife and cut the whole thing all around it and fucking eat the cheese.
And constipate it for like 3 weeks.
But that's what I used to do. And then all of a sudden you go back and it's like, where's the fucking cheese? No fucking cheese. Like, it's all gone. It's like the government cheese. Like, what the fuck is this?
Dude, government cheese was awesome. Dude.
It was cheese.
Yeah, melted.
It was cheese with a Z.
For the younger generation, picture the Velveeta block, but better.
Yes.
Oh, they probably don't even know that we had stuff in aisles that said generic.
Yeah. With the black and white labels.
Yeah, and it was just like
you had
water.
Toilet paper. You had
rice.
Paper towels.
Beans.
Even sodas, man. Sodas were in black and white cans. Like, what the?
It was crazy. Like, I can remember that. Like, people would go out because we were always at the softball fields, and everybody would buy water, and then they'd open up their thing, and it was like water. That's all it was. It didn't have like a fancy package or anything. It just said water.
We didn't have bottled water back in the day, though.
I remember it being in cans. That I do remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it used to be.
We weren't that rich.
Yeah, I know.
The whole fucking aisle said generic.
We weren't that
I don't
rich,
know how
man.
rich you can be.
The only water I remember is you had to go get the freaking big old gallon, 5-gallon things, or they sold them in gallon. I remember them selling them in gallons.
Yeah. Actual gallon.
Yeah.
Like milk. But no, man, no, they don't know what that was. I mean, fuck it. The whole aisle was black and white, and it said beans.
Yeah,
that's all it said.
But they were on the lower shelves.
Yes,
they weren't on the high.
They used to keep them on the same aisles, right?
Yeah.
But then they created a whole aisle.
Yeah, it was
just
a
a whole aisle of generic.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Is that it was we used to work for
we used to work
at HEB.
Yeah, so we would have to stock that stuff.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah. So you had the whole generic.
Did the aisle say, "Hey, poor people"? Poor people only.
No, there was no poor. It said "po." They couldn't afford the OR.
Yeah, if you have lint in your pocket, this aisle's for you.
Yeah, it's crazy because that's when, right after that is when the Hill Country Fair started coming out.
Yes, you're right.
And then Hill Country Fair was just as cheap, almost as cheap as the generic.
Because everybody was like used to getting their name brands, and it was either generic or some sort of name brand, and then all of a sudden it was like Hill Country Fair.
Yeah, but then you think about it now, right? Hill Country Fair used to be cheaper. I mean, it still is, but it's almost basically the same price. You want to go get something that costs name brand $4.50, you're gonna get it for $4.20 in Hill Country Fair, and I'm like, what?
It's not.
Yeah, you're saving 30 cents, but might as well just give me the freaking name brand.
Yeah. So it's Hill Country Fair and
HEB
and HEB brand, right?
HEB.
Yeah.
And then in Walmart is what Good Value.
Good
Value.
Yeah, and at Sam's it's something Mark.
Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark. Yeah.
I thought that was a liquor.
No, Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
I thought this was Maker's Mart or something.
No, it's Maker's Mark.
Is it?
Maker's Mark is a liquor.
It is.
Yeah, it's the one with the red thing on the
top.
Yeah. I don't drink that much, but I know that.
It's really good.
And so is this Michelob Ultra.
Regular.
Or as they say in Mexico, regular.
Not unleaded, regular.
Well, that's good, man. I hadn't had a drink in a while, man, so that was actually not bad.
It was not bad. It was, well, there's a few more in there. Pork.
Hello. Yo, compadre. Need another refill.
Joe Boo needs a refill. Oh, it's from Major League.
That is from Major League.
If you don't remember.
Roger, that's from Major League.
Major League.
Not the Yankees. It's about the Cleveland Indians.
Not 2 or 3. It was Major League.
No, fuck the other ones, man. I'm sorry. That's why.
The second one wasn't
second
bad.
one was good.
The second one was still good.
The second one was good.
I didn't like that they replaced Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah,
but
it was,
the
second one was
good.
funnier.
It was.
Was it?
It was
Yeah.
funnier. Yeah.
Yeah, because the first one had more of a storyline.
Yes.
Right, and it was a little. They had some of the series. The second one was just nothing but just
It's
freaking
more
funny
comedy.
Comedy. Yeah.
Is that the one with the
comedy.
catcher who
Yes.
couldn't throw?
Yes.
He could.
Yeah,
Parkman.
Rhubarb or
Reuben
Rube,
yeah, Rube.
Reuben Parkman. So
Yeah.
He couldn't throw that in a second.
he going to throw it back to the pitcher.
Miss January.
Yeah.
She likes long, slow walks on the beach. Oh, dude. But we were talking about the old days. So before we went on air quotes, air quotes, we're talking about, well, maybe Cranky should fill us in what we were talking about and how this person was like upset because of the names that we were using.
Because we grew up badass.
Yeah,
You know?
it was a different culture.
It was a different culture.
It was a different era. Completely,
era, yeah.
man.
And we didn't
We didn't get offended quick.
We didn't get
No.
butt hurt.
and we picked our weaknesses and we picked on them even more
Yes.
with that weakness.
Yes.
You know? And it didn't make us weaker. It made us. I mean, let me look at what we are today. I mean, you know.
You know, I think what it did is that if you were made fun of for something, you didn't go to a corner and cry, right?
Exactly. You didn't go.
Hell no.
What you did is it made you tougher,
Yeah.
but it made you quick with it because then you had to have a comeback.
Oh yeah.
If not, you weren't going to be able to stay in that circle. There was no
surviving.
way.
Yeah. you didn't
Right?
survive.
Either you had to have thick skin because there were some that were not quick with it. They would sit there and just take it, right? So either you took it or you came back with something, you know, and then you would just have these little battles, and it became it was an everyday thing. It was now what we were known for. You know what I mean? Like Crank, what were you saying? What was one of them?
So like Porky, his nickname's been Porky since forever. You know, and
Ever.
And I was talking to somebody that was
Of the new generation.
what are the
Gen Zs?
Are they Gen Alphas now, or what are they called?
I don't know. See, why are we giving them all these
Yeah,
fucking names?
so-
They just call them what they are, wimpies.
And they were kind of like, well, that's mean. That's not that mean. I mean, that's his nickname. You know.
I've been Porky since I've been 8 years old.
I mean,
dude.
we had a friend that we called Niner because he had 9 fingers, man. And he was cool with it. He accepted it. You know?
Everybody, he answered to it.
Yes.
He knows it. Even during the
That
game.
that was his name.
During the games, we had a symbol for him.
Yes.
Right? We'd put our fingers. We'd put our hands up, and we'd put our.
You put your index finger down, and that was his signal. It was
We
like a
had-
bat signal.
It was Niner, man.
We had Rilla.
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
We had
because
Cyclops.
We had
Cyclops.
Cyclops. You know.
Who I know some. We used to call some, or somebody came up with Porpoise Head.
It had to been that. I don't remember.
Either way, the person had a big forehead.
Yeah.
It sounded like something.
Oh, Bumper.
Something,
You said Bumper. Who said Bumper?
Well, he used to, remember, because that was something that we used to use at his house. Your brother would have come out with that, but I remember it like when you're talking about porpoise head. I don't know, for some reason that sounds like something that Isaac would say.
No, it was Caesar.
Oh,
Caesar would call him that, and Caesar was cheese. You know, his brother was Shaggy.
Shaggy, and it's like, okay, like they call him Shaggy, right? Because Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
He looked like him.
He looked like Shaggy.
He would do the walk.
And he acted like him. He
had
like
a
he looked like him, and he walked like him, and he was just like. I
Like-
wouldn't say slow,
but
I'm saying
like
he was just real relaxed,
yeah,
real
his
cool.
demeanor was
I mean,
real chill.
Like, he's
Yeah.
real chill. So he got the nickname Shaggy.
You know
So
what?
it just never it never got us enough because that's just how it was. It never
But-
bothered us enough to get pissed off.
Dude,
Like,
and we
well,
would have
fuck you,
nicknames.
man,
We
and
would
start
have
fighting.
nicknames everywhere. Like even during softball, freaking
Panseco.
Fonseca.
Jose Panseco. You remember that, right, Coach?
Hey, if John listens to this,
He does
if he
listen to
listens to
this.
this,
Cheers to John,
Cheers to
man.
John, man.
dude.
Here's
Cheers to
another
John.
one to you, sir.
He says he keeps up with
He
it,
does.
dude.
He
So
tells me he
hopefully
catches up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him know. He
Oh.
needs.
You know, we had what's his name?
Well, catfish.
We had Catfish. Oh, so,
Catfish.
And then Catfish used to call me Gecko.
I'm surprised that he
Oh,
never.
why did he give you? He gave you that.
He was like
nickname for a
Gecko,
reason.
not to be confused with Gecko.
Can you imagine if Demo would have trademarked Catfish,
Dude, for real.
and how much? Because he came up with this before this damn show
Yeah,
was even on.
he
man.
just got because he just started calling everybody catfish.
Because everybody would say, "Hey, what's up, dog?" And he didn't want to say that. He wanted to be different.
Yeah.
You know.
So he started saying, "What's up, catfish?
He was saying,
What's up,
what
catfish?"
What was our first baseman's name? Who after he was drunk, we would put him at catcher.
Pup? No.
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 Shit.
Oh, hooch. Hooch.
I see his wife all the time, man. She works at one of the kids' schools, man. But yeah, dude. So Hooch, we we had Pup,
Pup, his brother, the brother.
right? And then Catfish used to call everybody what is it? Possum in Spanish.
Tlacuache?
Tacuache.
Tacuache.
Tacuache. Like, you know, everybody
had a nickname,
Dude,
dude.
even when I was at
Everybody had a
HEB, I worked with Raymond, and Raymond, they used to call him Pampers because he was one of the youngest ones there.
What Raymond?
Raymond Tejerina.
Raymond Tejerina.
And
Yeah,
so then
remember
when I showed up and I started working there, I was the next youngest one. And so they're like, well, Pampers is already taken, so they started calling me Huggies. Right? And I was just like, I mean, dude, like, you just get nicknames for whatever, bro.
Okay, well, see the difference, right? So we're out here, like, in the softball team, and everybody's got nicknames, or we were in high school, like, everybody was calling somebody something, dude.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what it was. It was porpoise head, you know, because he had a big forehead or whatever. But this was HEB.
Yes.
This was work.
This was at a corporation.
This was at a corporation.
yeah.
This is where, like, you know, nowadays, if you call somebody something, they're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna take
outside of
it
their
to HR."
name.
Fuck,
Outside of their
yeah.
name, forget it. You're going
That's
HR.
why that's why everything's so different, dude. And we're not sounding like old fucking cranky dudes. That's just how it was, dude.
Yeah.
That's just how it was.
Yeah.
And that's why we get upset, because it's like brittle spirits. We talk about it all the time.
But
Brittle spirits.
Are we to blame for that though, man? Because we raised this generation, dude. You know.
Well, you know, I
don't know.
I think we talked about it on the very first
mentioned
episode.
it. We mentioned that.
We no longer raise these generations.
Yes.
The
It's
TV,
also
Whatever they
yeah.
watch.
the social media, the influencers,
YouTube.
they're the ones that raise this generation
Oh, yeah.
now. It's
Yeah.
not us.
Yeah.
Because I could freaking tell them till I'm blue in the face, man, and it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Okay, we don't raise them, but we buy them the stuff to look at all that stuff. You know.
We just buy them the shit. Here, just go. Just
Yeah,
get,
just
get out,
go,
Just
yeah.
go. Get out of here. Go.
I'm watching Sports Center. Leave me alone.
For the 17th time. And then the same.
You know, the same highlight from.
You can say
Yes,
it word
that's-
for word. You can say it word for word because it never changes.
I already saw that
Yeah.
LeBron highlight for the 17th time. All right, whatever. But yeah, that was funny, dude, that we brought up. I mean, I'm sure there's more. Even the bullet.
A bullet.
That they
Oh,
brought
yeah,
all
the
those
bullet.
like
Bullet head.
chops.
Chop,
All
yeah.
those. I
What
mean,
was,
and those were football nicknames.
Splinter.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? The
Was
was
it Mark? Was it?
No, Mark Cerner.
Mark.
Oh no, I don't remember that.
Mark
Yeah,
Cerner.
I ran into one of Sabrina's friends that she went to high school or that they grew up with or whatever, and man, I gave her that nickname because she looked like Sabrina.
Or what was John Albert? John Albert was Chief,
Chief,
right?
yeah, Chief, yeah,
Chief. He was Chief.
yeah.
Yeah,
everybody has nicknames.
I can't say that.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Give us a signal, maybe
Let us know.
message me. And
Say it. I'm playing Sam Kinison now. Say it. Say it. But again, man, it's like, you know, we don't mean to just go go over it again. But when you think about it, I mean, hold on, give me a second here.
Yes. I remember that one. So breaking news, it just came over. We had Ghandi. Man.
Gandhi, dude.
Golly.
We called a dude Gandhi. That was his nickname.
And he answered to
Yes.
it. And not only that, when we would meet him like now, I remember when I introduced him the first time like to Sabrina, I was like, hey, yeah, this is our friend. He was, oh, Ghandi. Like he introduced himself.
Yes.
Because that was his nickname, man.
God. I mean, we had Ted.
Ted.
That was his name.
Dude, okay, so nobody remembers, right? And I was telling the kids about this one time. I said, man, we had this friend who we called Ted. And I said, oh, really? I said, oh, because I ran into him at SeaWorld.
Uh-huh.
So we were with the kids. We were in the water park. He was like, Lulu. And I turned around. And I was like, Ted. And then, oh, yeah, hey, this is my friend, man. Oh, yeah, Jason. And they're like, but you just called him Ted. I said, yeah. Well, let me tell you why.
Hold on.
I said, one time we went bowling,
Did
right?
you tell him pause?
No,
Pause.
he dressed like that to school.
Yes, I know. But I remember one time we went bowling.
The
and
overalls?
And he had the tan overalls with the red shirt. I was like, he looked like Teddy Ruxpin, man. I was like, dude. So after that, everybody called him Ted. And then after being called that, he continued to wear that outfit.
Yeah.
And that was his signature outfit, bro.
But he took the name Ted.
Yes,
I
he
used
did.
to work with him at a restaurant, and his name tag was Ted.
Tedo!
Tedo.
It was Ted.
Yeah, dude.
You know.
Oh my god, dude. Ghandi. Oh,
I remember
for
those,
real, dude. Like how would somebody see that? If
Now.
you were in an office,
Yeah.
and you saw an old friend and you was like, hey, Ghandi,
Yeah.
they'd be like, what? What?
Yeah, it'd be
His name
like
is-
remember the Simpsons episode, and I did it one time. We walked into a little corner store, and the guy was there. I was like, "Hey, Apu, where do I get a?" You know. But if you were to do that now, bro, you're getting. You know,
yeah, you're getting canceled.
And yeah, and if we were to go somewhere and we call him Gandhi, and they look at him, and then they'd be like, "Come on, man, y'all
Yeah.
being racist." No, it was just.
Oh, man.
It was a nickname, man. That's what we did. Now you can't call anybody anything.
Chavez.
Chavez.
You have your phone, bud.
Let me. Poor Chavez's bill. I wonder what it was, right?
Let me have a bacon cheeseburger. Hold the bacon.
Good times, man.
good times,
That's
yeah.
fucking good times. John, salute to John.
Salute
Salute,
to
to the Stallions.
Yep.
I remember the first day I went to go play with you guys, because I was actually at a family function, right? And it was I don't even remember. I don't think it was a holiday. It might have been, but y'all were out playing at Guerreros.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
The one over there off of 181.
181. No, and 181.
Well, no, it was 281.
One something.
No, yeah, it was 181.
181?
You take the Floresville exit.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you go all
yeah,
the way
yeah,
right when you
yeah.
pass 1604. It was that little street that goes in over there, right? That was
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was
Yeah,
nestled
dude.
back there,
Back
not
in
too
the
far
woods.
from the lake.
Yeah, you could see the freaking the lights.
You could, yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all were playing there, and Catfish actually called me, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? We're playing softball over here." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not even ready. Like, I don't have my stuff." And he's like, "I'll go pick you up." He fucking shows up on a motorcycle, and I'd never been on a fucking motorcycle, and I'm like with my bag and shit. He's like, "Whatever you do, don't lean." I'm like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" I'm like, "I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die," because it's a drive. It was a drive from my house all the way over there, dude.
And that motorcycle was.
That baby,
It's what
blue
the
one,
kids would
right?
call sketch now.
Is that baby blue one, right?
Yeah,
You remember?
it was a little sus.
Yes.
Ah, man, I was shitting bricks that whole fucking ride over there, dude. But that was the first day. That was the first time that I played with y'all. And sorry, Pup, but that was the day that Pup nailed Rudy in the back of the head.
He was at third.
Pup was at third.
He gets a ground ball, and
Rudy was pitching.
Rudy was
Yeah,
pitching,
yeah.
and he already knew Pup's accuracy, right?
Yeah.
So Rudy decides, let me go all. Rudy was
He
already
kneeled
sore,
down.
so he goes all the way to the
He
ground.
kneeled down.
And Pup still nails him right in the head.
Nails in
Bro,
the
you hear
back of
boop,
the
and that ball went straight up. Yeah, dude, I remember that. Yep.
It was like, what did I get myself into, man?
Oh man, we could tell stories.
That, you know, the one I remember, you weren't with us in the van. We were in Catfish's van.
Mhm.
It was me, you, and you didn't go with us though. You
To where?
I think
To
you were
Mission?
separate. Yeah, to
We were
Mission.
to
Oh, I didn't know because I ended up driving with Checkmark.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
That was the other nickname.
Another-
That dummy had a Nike switch
Nike
on
on
the back of his neck.
neck.
Yeah. So nobody wanted to call him
They
Nike,
didn't wanna
so we
call him
called him
swoosh.
we called him check mark.
Check mark.
Say, oh, he's always in check, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I rode with him and y'all rode in the van.
We
yeah.
drove in that, dude.
Was that the one? That's not the time he got arrested, was it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
What's
that
the
wasn't
different
that. 'Cause I didn't
time?
go. I didn't go to that one.
Oh, that's right, because
Yeah.
it was a whole Royal Rumble.
That was a night, man.
Yeah.
That was a night. It was like, and let me tell you, he beat the shit out of that dude.
Both.
You went to that? You went to that one?
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, because they had just come back. By the time I got there, they were already coming back from Mexico, and we had just gotten to the hotel, and we all met at the bar or whatever little lounge that they had there, and that's when one of the guys was hitting on his chick, and kind of like throwing little calls like cat calls and stuff, and trying to get her attention. And finally, Temo just tells him like, "Hey man, you need to just like chill out already." And the guy starts telling them something. So Temo was like, "Hey, it's two of y'all, one by one. Let's go." They go outside. One guy rushes him, beats the fuck out of him.
Fucking beat
The
the
other guy
shit
comes
out
at
of
him,
him.
starts beating him down. The other guy starts going back towards Temo. That's when
Gabe-
Andy comes.
Was it
and
Andy or Gabe?
It was Andy.
Ooh,
Andy
was
hits him. Boom. Starts getting on him. So Temo gets up because another guy comes out. And then this guy's going to go at him. So I come running. And I start throwing haymakers. And then the Gabe comes
Gabe
in. Dude,
comes
next
in.
thing you know, there's like 5 of us against like 5 or 6 of them too. And it was just...
Was it Demo that was on top of that dude? He was on top of him and he was just going.
Yep.
And how funny is that we're talking about nicknames, but Temo's not his nickname. That's his like actual name.
His name is Cuauhtemoc.
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 Man, that's his actual name.
Actually,
And that's another thing about names, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear those names like that anymore. Like I'm sure his dad, had maybe not roots, but like, he stuck with it. He was, Hispanic, or maybe he had roots from down there. I mean, he named his kid
From the
Cuauhtemoc. Yeah. From the Cub. Yeah. From the original Cub.
The original cuz.
Yeah, his name was Cuauhtemoc, and we called him Temo. That was his name.
Yep.
But when you talk about names, like you don't hear names like that. Like you don't people aren't named Larry anymore. People
No, they are
you don't-
named Larry now. They're not named Cuauhtemoc.
Yeah.
Well,
you know?
no, but I'm talking about now. They're like Dylan and Dakota, like you said, like our old buddy George Lopez says, right?
It's like this
Alizé.
guy. I don't know if you remember him. He used to live in a neighborhood. His name was Placido.
Oh, Placido. Yeah.
I
Well,
remember the name.
he didn't. People couldn't get his name right, so he started calling himself Igor.
Oh,
Because people didn't get his name
They
right.
couldn't get his name
They
right,
couldn't
yeah.
get his name right. So no, just call
I
me
know-
Igor.
I know exactly who you're talking about,
Yes.
dude. Igor, wow, that's another one.
So it was funny because I was the other day I ran into an Igor and I was like, "Is that your real name or do you just want people to call you that?"
He didn't have a hump in his back.
No, he didn't have
But wasn't he kind of like a skater guy? Or
He was.
I know he had long hair.
A
Kinda like
rocker,
a heavy,
kind of.
heavy metal
he was
dude,
like, he was
right?
like a punk.
Like a punk.
Yeah.
Punk
rock.
'Cause that
Okay,
was
when we say punk now, I mean
Yeah.
before punk was a style, like a grunge style, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
call somebody a punk now, they look
They're like,
So,
bitches. Ah, man, that's funny.
but those were the times, man.
Yeah,
And that just goes to show you the times that we're in now, where none of that would fly.
no, you can't. Dan, you couldn't. Well, that's the one thing that stuck out with me was the work thing.
Yeah.
You can't even joke around with anybody at work. Nope. And they say, well, you shouldn't be joking around. But yeah, but it happened. Especially at HEB, dude.
How do you expect for me to pass the time?
How am I gonna have a good time at work?
Exactly.
Like
You want me to come over here and be bored?
this lady thought we called her. I don't know if it was. I don't remember right. Or she thought we called her a bitch for some reason, and we were just talking. And we're there and talking, and then she kept looking at us, and we're like, "What? Why is this?" She used to be a cashier. I don't remember her name, but she thought we called her a bitch. We weren't even talking to her. We might have said it, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't even directed to her. We might have just had a conversation going, and we got in trouble. And this was back then, right? But she thought we called her a bitch. I'm like, we weren't even talking to you, like, dude. I
She
almost
lived
got
in the
fired.
wrong times.
Literally almost got fired at that time. Freaking HEB.
telling you. Partner.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
What's up, partner?
Partner.
What's up, partner? You didn't work there, did you, Crank?
I worked at the warehouse.
Oh, you were at the warehouse.
That's right.
That's
right.
Yeah. So I was telling these guys a story before we come. I know we're going somewhere else now, but I was telling them a story about the TikTok. So I honestly, to God, had not been watching TikTok. I hadn't watched TikTok in about
He hadn't been keeping up with the news.
No, so I haven't. I had to go get my news source, right? So I started watching TikTok again, and dummy me. If you notice on the top of TikTok, it says followers or following.
Following, yeah.
So if you hit that, you only get videos of people that you follow.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea. I had no idea. I didn't know. So I hit it, right? And I
So
started
you
watching
got a lot
videos.
of big boob chicks in here. That's what I see on my followers.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell anybody. But one of the things that popped up with these two guys that I guess they deep dive into a lot of stories of paranormal type stuff or just weird coincidences that happen or whatever, right? So these guys are talking about this one video that they saw where the guy is working out in a yard, and you know those big wooden spindles. I call them spindles, but I don't know what they are. But they wind, they wind stuff on it, and they're heavy, right? You need at least 2 or 3 people to move them. So the guy is trying to move it, and all of a sudden this other person pops up, and he's like, "Hey, you need some help or whatever." Yeah, so so he's helping him, and they put it to where it's supposed to be, and he goes around to look for the guy. Well, the guy's not there. So he didn't really think anything of it. He just thought, okay, the guy helped me, and he takes off. Well, he goes into the office, and he sits down, and he's looking up at the wall, and he sees a picture, and he sees a picture of that dude. Well, he notices that underneath that picture are 2 dates, as in
beginning and
an end.
Yeah.
So as if the guy passed away, and he's like, "Hey, who's that dude?" And they're like, "Oh, it's so and so. He passed away, like I don't know how long, a year or 2 ago, whatever." And he's like, "No, he was just helping me out in the yard right now, moving the big thing or whatever." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" So he keeps telling them, right? And they're not believing him. So they go to the video of him, and he's there. And and I started thinking about this too. All right, coincidence. Maybe it was real, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So they go to the video of the dude in the yard moving that big thing, and it's moving as if somebody was helping him. But in the video, all you see is him with the big spindle or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Dude, what are you talking about? Like, the dude's been dead for years. Like, how could he have helped you?" And he's like, "He was helping me." And they couldn't believe the video because it was as if somebody was helping him move it, but nobody was there. So that's the kind of stories that they talk about, shit like that, coincidences like that. And that's where I got my news from today. So that was the biggest thing that stuck out.
And Crank.
It's like I said, this story is more believable than Bigfoot.
Or that Android's a better phone. I mean,
you guys are just upset that we've had shit before you guys. And I sent them a video today, and Louie was huh?
I was like, prove it.
He didn't get it. He didn't understand. Did you understand it?
I understood it.
Which video?
The video about they had, what was it called? CDC? Or...
So the RCS.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. I don't know. See, nobody knows what it is. RCS was apparently made before iMessage. The only thing is that RCS is supposed to be able to be used on all platforms. And iMessage is just for iPhone.
Yeah.
Right.
And then iPhone says, well, we don't want your stupid ass RCS shit. So
you want to know why you get your
grainy videos?
Videos is because of that.
Yes. I've heard of that.
Yeah, because RCS is...
Because iPhones are stupid and Androids are better. Thank you. End of story. Next topic.
So, you know that story, it reminds you of other, I guess, Texas, or not even Texas, but just like
coincidences,
folk stories that we used to hear, right? Where like the person that saw the girl walking and gave her a ride and gave her the jacket, and then he drops her off at home, and they have a nice conversation. He's getting to know this girl, kind of likes her, drops her off at home, and leaves and forgets, oh shoot, his jacket. Goes back to the house the next day or that night or whatever, and the mom answers the door and is like, "Can I help you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm looking for so and so." He's like, "Is this a joke?" Ooh. He's like, "No, what are you talking about?" He's like, "I gave her a ride and she had my jacket, so I wanted to get my jacket back." It's like, she's been dead for, she just died recently or whenever.
Holy shit.
And he's like, "No, I just dropped her off here." And it's like, "No, she's buried at so and so cemetery." Yeah. And he goes over there, goes to where she's buried at, and his jacket's laying over the tombstone.
Oh, no.
It's like stories like that where it's like, wow, like, okay. Wow. And again, much more believable than Bigfoot. So,
but y'all weren't there, dude. And I'm still doing my research because I'm gonna find that fucking place. And you know what we're gonna do?
We're
gonna fucking go over there and we're gonna do a live fucking recording from that fucking area. I don't care if Tom Hick, brother, John comes out and wants to fucking, hey, get off my property. No, fuck you, dude. I need to show these motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm gonna set it up to make shit move around so y'all can get scared.
Oh man!
I don't really care if you don't believe. I believe.
Why didn't you send us the video when you saw that?
Saw what?
The spindle moving.
I thought I did.
I don't know.
Oh no! I'll send it to you later.
Okay, because I was like,
I think it's got to be saved because I think I liked it. But those guys, I don't know. Some of the stories seem better. But
does Android save stuff?
You got to go to a file or.
Yeah, you can make phone calls too from it.
You can't send a PDF, that's for sure.
Yeah, we can.
No, we can't send you a PDF. If I have a PDF,
we probably can't send you one.
I can't send it to you on a message.
Because you're stupid.
It's you know what it's funny is that like iPhone and Android are like the best phones. iPhone more though.
Yeah.
I can't believe like one hasn't bought one out.
Because they won't.
No, that'll be a monopoly.
Like Coke and Pepsi.
That'll be a monopoly.
Monopoly, right?
Yeah, but it's like Coke and Pepsi. They're never
the
gonna.
Same.
Yeah, and even at that, I can't wait till you start seeing. I think there's already been a couple commercials or ads or whatever you call them. But, there's a couple of commercials I think where they kind of like take shots at each other, right? But I don't know. You remember the first time that Coke or Pepsi ever took a shot at each other?
That was like in the 80s.
But it was in a Super Bowl commercial.
Okay.
It was a Super Bowl commercial. And then after that, then you started seeing everybody else do it. Bud Light and Miller Light. And, everybody else started doing that too. But I remember when Coke and Pepsi took a shot at each other, and I was like, oh, here we go. It's about to get interesting. I can't wait till we start seeing more of that with the iPhone and Android.
See, we don't go that low. We don't go... If
well, you can't go any lower than what you already are.
iPhone already does that, because they have their, their catchy little commercials. Ooh, look at me, I can edit. Ooh, big fucking deal, you can.
But
edit.
You know what?
How about be smart enough to spell it the first time?
I mean, I see more iPhone commercials than Android.
Yeah, because we don't need to advertise.
Yeah,
we don't need to. We don't need to. We don't need to. It's like you're talking.
Oh no, iPhone already did.
It's like you were talking about Chris Madrid's, right? Chris Madrid's don't gotta advertise because people will still win.
But they stopped going now
because it's not good.
Yeah.
You mother truckers.
It was funny that I'm watching a show on Netflix. Your Honor.
Dude, I heard it was good.
It's good. So I'm in the second season right now, right?
I saw the thing.
So in one episode, he's trying to type "fuck you," and it says "duck you," and he goes, "Damn it!" How many times have you done that where you're trying to say that and then it comes out wrong? Like, oh
I
man,
can edit.
Yeah, duck. So now you just put a duck. You know what that means. Fun times.
So another thing that I heard, and I wanna your blind reaction to this, even though you already know. Wait, yeah, Louie covers his eyes. Louie's covering his eyes. So I saw this thing flash, and you know me because I see shit, but I don't dive into it.
Like Bigfoot.
But I really saw it, dude. I really saw it. So I don't dive into it because I just see the highlight or I just see the headline and I just see like a little part of the video or whatever. And I don't go in and I don't really like Louie. Louie probably investigates all that shit. But basically, the headline said women are now placing air tags into their weaves before they leave the country. So if they're taking a vacation, you know, not necessarily out of state, but like out of the country. Yeah. Like if they're going to Mexico or, you know, France or wherever it is. Yeah, wherever they're going. They're placing air tags.
I want to go there, but I don't want to go there.
Because who else does that? But it's interesting. Like,
but here's my thing with that. All they're gonna do is snatch that weave off, throw it somewhere.
Well, how are they gonna know?
If they're kidnapping,
it's not like they slipped it somewhere else.
If they're kidnapping them, it's for a reason, okay? And usually it's sex, and it's not voluntary sex. So I'm pretty sure her hair is gonna get grabbed or two. I'm pretty sure that weave's gonna come off and it's gonna be thrown somewhere, and they're not gonna find. The person's not gonna be near that air tag. Like that makes no sense. Put it on your person somewhere. Put it on your bra. Put it on your I don't know.
Or if they got big boobs, like put it under that
underneath,
boob flap.
like yeah,
put it under that boob flap.
I don't know. That to me that's just dumb. To me that was done for views.
You think
that's
so?
That's what it was. Yeah, I don't.
For clout.
For clout. Now, here I will say, for a long time, weaves were worn by a certain race, right? But if you look at TikTok now, have you ever seen those videos where the transformation, and it's not even like a guy to a girl, it's just like an ugly girl
putting on a shit.
Yeah, and doing the makeup thing and then putting on a weave, right? Like everybody wears weaves now, man. And I'm like, so I get what you're saying, but here's the thing, they still come off. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last.
It's like eyelashes. It's like fingernails. It's like lipstick. It's like everything that girls do now. They just beautify themselves. You know.
Can you get those wet? Like, are they waterproof?
What?
The air tags?
The
air tags. I don't know.
Why don't you know? It's a fucking Apple product. Why the fuck y'all don't know? Y'all don't know what y'all got?
Because I don't have a weave. I'm not trying to.
I can't believe somebody that has an iPhone doesn't know.
They actually have waterproof air tags.
And those are what, 100?
Nope.
Or 200?
Those are $9.98, sir.
God damn.
And they have air tag keychain holders that are only $7, and they're waterproof.
What? Where you get them from? Temu?
No. Amazon. I know, right? As long as you don't get them from Wish, right, Crank?
Is that place still in?
I don't even know.
I haven't heard.
I think Temu took it over.
I think so,
Temu
man.
took it over.
So it does say that air tags they're not waterproof, but they're highly resistant to water damage. So they can be used outdoors. They can be used in rainy conditions. They can't be submerged for more than like 30 minutes.
Oh, so if they drown them, they're screwed.
Well, it's just like, I think just like the phones, when I was trying to track my phone when I lost it in the river, it tracked for about a good 30 to 45 minutes and then it went out. So,
wah, wah.
Yeah.
So I got a quick shot, man.
Do it.
So I was watching Anger Management the other day with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson, you know, and they were in the plane and
not the one with Charlie Sheen, the one with the actual
another one. So it was Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson and they're in the plane and Jack Nicholson, they're watching a movie and they have a hot chick in the movie and she has like breast implants, right? And Jack Nicholson says like to Adam Sandler, like, what's your position on breast implants? You know, like your opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then I started thinking about why do these chicks get ass implants? Like it's gross.
Yeah, I think it looks worse than the real thing.
Yes.
So
it doesn't even look real.
That's the thing, as I think it does not look natural, so it looks funny. It looks weird. You know, like I've heard, like, you know, Sabrina every once in a while will comment. She'll be like, "Oh my goodness, you could tell that she has a BBL, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could tell she has one, but hers looks good. Hers looks natural." And I'm like, that's like 1 out of 100.
I've never seen a natural BBL, man. That looks natural.
Yeah, that looks
Every one that I've seen, I'm like,
you know they're fake.
It doesn't.
You know,
it doesn't go. And then not only that, get it to where it's proportioned with your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how you're gonna be so small, so thin, and then all of a sudden have this big old thing.
Bam!
I'm like, that's not natural, man.
Some
It's
drunk
not
in the
natural.
trunk.
Yeah, that's not natural, and it doesn't. And you're right. To me, and a lot of people's opinions are like, oh man, it's attractive. I'm sorry.
I don't
think it's attractive.
I don't think it's attractive.
So,
I don't. You know, and I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it.
It has to do with
It's
their insecurities or their self confidence. That's
their
what it
confidence.
is.
It's like
Yeah.
it
boosts their confidence.
You can tell a woman till you're red in the face or dying, you know, on your deathbed. You could tell them, you don't need it, baby. You look awesome. You're beautiful. You don't need fake boobs. You don't need fake ass.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't beautiful.
Good one, Sabrina. Good one.
But this is what I know. I mean, but I've learned too also is that you can compliment a woman so many times, man. But the one insult you give her,
it'll last.
it will last more than those compliments, dude.
And they'll know the exact day, the exact time, what the temperature was outside.
September 5th, 1993.
What the dew point was.
What you got to say about that? From Sinbad.
Because it's true. Sinbad was talking about that shit way back in the day.
30 years ago, man.
Yeah.
That's another nickname right there, too.
So that's how women, they've been like that for centuries. You know, you can tell them, doesn't matter. It goes back to that question. Do women dress up for other women?
Yeah. They don't dress up for guys, tell you that.
Well, I've heard somebody say no. But it's like, I say yes. Because who else are they going to try and impress?
They want to compete with the competition out there.
If you're going out and if you're going to somewhere, it's a bar, you know, or even a concert or whatever. Like, how do these women go dressed up to these concerts?
If you want the attention, you got to feel that you're better than the competition.
Yeah.
Than the ops.
Because they're gonna
the way the generation now says the ops.
Yeah.
What's the ops?
The opposition.
Oh. Okay.
Because guys are gonna gawk no matter what. We're gonna gawk no matter what. We're gonna look.
You're gonna look. Yeah.
You know, we're gonna stare. You know, I mean, that's our habitat.
This one thing that I've seen on TikTok, and I think it's happening more often, like, or even in the gym too, like these gym videos that they post and stuff. Well, apparently this girl was at a I don't know, Whole Foods or wherever the fuck she was, and she was claiming that the guy behind her was an older man, you know, salt and pepper hair, had a beard, you know, salt and pepper. He looked older. And that, no, not talking about Cranky. Maybe it was. I don't know. He had a Chicago shirt on. But she claimed that the man was staring at her. So in the process, and I'm like, just fucking check your food and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just get your food, pay for it, and leave. No. She proceeds to place her phone down, recording at an angle to where you can see the man behind her. And look, dude. Let's be honest. You're behind somebody, right? You're going to give a little glance. It happens, right? You're going to do it. You're going to give a little glance. You're going to maybe not stare. Like, if you're fucking staring, okay, well, you're dumb. But you're going to give a little glance. And that's what this guy was doing. Every 10, 15 seconds, you know, he'd turn around, look away. I don't know if he was with his wife or whatever. I don't know. But he would glance. Well, she was recording him the whole time, and she felt threatened. Because apparently the guy was gawking at her so much that she couldn't stand it. She had to put her phone down to record his ass. And now she puts it on the internet, and everybody thinks this guy's a fucking pervert. He didn't do nothing.
Was she wearing yoga pants?
Yes.
Exactly.
Like she just came from working out. And I'm like, dude, come on. Dude. That's too much. Like, you know and we open up another can of worms saying that shit. You see what these women wear to the gym.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Forget to the store.
They wear everywhere,
To the
right?
store.
They wear the store. And I mean, I'm like, okay, I'll admit, like, who doesn't do it? Like, you see it, and you see it, and then you look away real quick, and it's like, oh, fuck. Because she's wearing something short, something tight. She might even be wearing just a top, you know, where it's a little tight, you know, and that's it. It looks like a bra, really. But
Well, it is.
well, yeah.
And these same women get mad when the guy is gawking at them in person, but they're gonna post that picture on Instagram
That's
Yeah.
exactly
They
right.
want the views.
or OnlyFans.
Right.
Yeah.
that you know. That you
But
saw.
they don't want to be sexualized.
Like, no.
Exactly.
Angel
But
Reese.
this is why I don't get like they're probably saying shit to guys that are sending them DMs or whatever on Facebook. They're like, oh, and then they're fucking like, what do you call it? They're throwing them under the bus. They're posting their shit like, oh, look what this guy sent me in the DMs, blah blah blah. And the very next post is her fucking bending over with her fucking ass cheeks hanging over her fucking what do you call it, in the bathroom. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you don't have an ass, maybe you shouldn't be sitting on the sink to make it look like you have an ass. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, what do you want? Like,
Yeah.
how can you be upset that this guy sexualized you, and the next pic your ass cheeks are hanging out of your fucking pants?
It's what is it? It's contradicting.
They're contradicting, yeah.
Contradicting?
Because how is this guy gonna be
It's
upset?
hypocritical.
There's that
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
There you go.
How is that lady gonna be upset at that dude that he was looking at her? Like,
And I'm
pay for
telling
your
you,
shit
bro,
and leave if you're that threatened.
I'm telling you, it's everywhere, man. Like I go to the store, right? And I'll call Sabrina, man, and I'll tell her, dude, you will not believe what I just saw. Like, I just saw this girl.
A dog.
I was in Walmart earlier and I saw one. It's like, that doesn't say service animal, you motherfucker.
Sometimes. But I see this girl and she's wearing shorts and not a tank, but like a muscle shirt, like a guy's muscle shirt.
Yeah.
And you know the guys' muscle shirts usually are a little bigger, right? And it comes in a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
And she's not wearing anything underneath. So she's wearing an oversized muscle shirt and she's not wearing a bra.
So
And
she's
so
got
you
the
literally
side-
see everything. And I'm like, how?
Where was this at?
The HEB on Valley High. I think, right? And I'm like, how do you? I'm like, these are the types of people where I'm like, first of all, you know that there's kids that walk into the store, right? But second, same type of person that's probably gonna get mad if somebody's staring at them,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, they want the attention, but they don't. But they want.
But
they
they
want to. What is it? Manage the attention that they get.
Right. But if some dude in fucking muscles and just came from working out, right? Because he's wearing his tight shit and all that. If that dude was looking at him, what do you think they would do? Flicking their hair, bend over. But that's what they want. They don't want Joe Schmo. They don't want Joe Schmo.
As much as they talk about how they're attracted to dad bods,
fuck that. That's bullshit. Ain't nobody fuck. I go outside without my shirt and all I hear is, oh! Yeah. They don't want that bods.
Samsonite with a 2-run homer. Finally. Damn.
Who's Samsonite?
Swanson. Slappy.
Samsonite. That was
way off.
From?
Dumb and Dumber.
You gotta quote your sources, bro.
That's a movie that wouldn't fly today either, man.
There is a shit ton of movies that wouldn't fly today,
No.
dude.
Nope.
We've talked about Blazing Saddles. We've talked about that movie. There's no way.
Definitely
no way.
Show that movie to the kids right now and see what they say. They're like, I can't believe.
It's not even the movies. It's the TV shows like Good Times,
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeffersons,
Yeah.
Married with Children.
Married with Children.
Oh yeah.
Married with Children was
Talk about
Funny.
Talk about sexualization, dude. Talk about sexualization.
Well, not only that, and also nicknames and calling people, what
yeah.
they were. So
The new
dare you-
latte.
how dare you say that to my face? Well, my car only has half a tank, and I would say,
I would say behind your back. Shit.
Love and marriage, love. Oh man, those are the shows that we grew up with, bro. We watched those fucking shows.
That's why our generation's badass, dude.
Yep.
This generation sucks.
You know what, dude? We're gonna end that shit right there. The fuck that. Our generation is fucking badass, and it's true that these fucking TikToks of that one girl, like everybody was what do they call it? Stitching that. That one girl that was like, if I'm being honest, or if I'm being, you know, that Generation X is the worst generation out, and everybody went after that fucking girl, and they're like, you see those sunglasses? Those sunglasses we used to wear those back in the day. So you want to tell me, you see that piercing you have in your nose? Well, look at this, and they went after that poor girl, dude. Like.
Well, I saw a video today of them talking about wanting to cancel Eminem because of his latest song.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I'm like,
come on, it's Eminem.
Have you heard the? Have you heard his previous? Have you heard the Slim Shady stuff?
Yes.
Not the Eminem stuff. The Slim Shady stuff.
Have you heard about?
He went on at his mom. He went on at his
fuck yeah,
baby mama. He went on at his daughter. Like, come on, man.
What was it? Fuck you, Betty, or whatever. Like, you know, they give a shit.
I'm like, come on.
But
man.
let's talk about the WAP. And that goes straight to number one.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Straight to number one. Coming from a lady who was an ex-stripper.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah, and I got all this shit. Like, come on, man. That's bullshit. No, man. We'll end it right there. Best generation fucking ever.
Yep.
Gen X. Fuck everybody else.
Nicknames.
And you know what it's... and I'm going to keep going. Watch. You know what's funny, though, is that everybody knows... Think about the generation. Okay, think about what we grew up in. We were in the middle of computers. We were the first ones to use computers. Really,
yeah.
We were
right.
We were the first generation to experience like AC. Because we
had window units.
And the portables.
So when we were in elementary, we had to open our windows. To open the windows.
No shit.
We couldn't wait to get to second grade because they were upstairs.
No shit.
And they had
AC.
They had AC.
Yeah, second and third grade were upstairs.
Well, we had portables, and the portables didn't have
AC
central.
too,
They had window units.
Yeah. So the whole class you would hear the whole time. Yeah.
But we were like, "Can we open the window, teacher?" And we would open the windows, dude. And we had fans.
Yep.
We had fans, dude. We didn't have AC.
Yeah, the big warehouse industrial.
Big, and they talk about, they're like, well, I can't believe you used to drink water from a water hose. Yes, motherfucker, we used to drink because we didn't want to come inside.
No.
Not that our parents didn't want us inside. We didn't want to come inside because the fucking air was on and we'd want to stay inside. That's how I was. But fuck that. I didn't want to go inside. Just turn the water on, let it run for, a minute, two. Then it was nice and cold, and you could drink that all day, dude. We didn't have Gatorade, we didn't have Powerade, we didn't have any of that shit.
We drank Don Bosco water, and you know how nasty that was.
Even at the elementary schools with the water in the pipe.
Yes,
the pipe was fucking lead and shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We drank water from that shit, and it was constantly on.
Yeah.
They never turned it off. It was constantly on. It was all green and white. And this is where I get mad though, man. Is because Don Bosco water was. We knew it was rusty.
Yeah,
we knew it was rusty. But we still drank it. But y'all are all afraid of COVID. That's what gets me mad, man. There's more viruses, diseases in the world, but it's COVID. We gotta shut down the world.
I remember at Don Bosco, it was just a brick.
Yes,
you remember that? It was a brick.
That was a brick water fountain.
There was a water fountain that had the brick went from the bottom to the top, where the water came out. That's what I remember.
Yes,
I remember that brick. It was like everybody drank water from there, and it was fucking brown or whatever. It was like we just fucking drank it.
It was like they thought they made it better with, let's get the igloo jug and they fill it up with the same water.
No, it's safer, mijo. No, it's safer. Oh, man. Generation X, best generation ever, dude. We started everything, dude. We were in the beginning of computers. Word wasn't even around. We were the beginning of Word. Yep. We experienced all that shit, dude. And these kids are so fucking privileged now. They have no idea. We started
Gen Z too. kind of our fault, man.
I'm gonna make my granddaughter tough, man. She's not gonna be there. She's not gonna be able to live.
We'll take that shit. Ah, dude. I know. I need to do that to Boston too, man. You need a little, toughen up there, kid. All right, man. Anything else? Any closing shots, Louie? Nope. Anything? Nope. Cranky?
No.
Nope. Oh man, that was good. Fucking Gen X, greatest era ever. All right, man. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys later.